Okay, hi everyone. Our group consists of Ferran, Marta, Rosa, Sarah, Altea, Adriana, and me, Vincent. We chose the book Shongololo Shoes, which is a short book written by Jacqui L'Ange and illustrated by Megan Lotter. The picture book is from Book Dash and designed for young children and those learning to read. It also makes a great bedtime story for young children. Now, a brief summary of the book. In Shongololo shoes, Shongololo, which is actually just a millipede from Southern Africa, lost his shoes, and everyone tells him they haven't seen them. But actually, all of his friends are using his shoes for different things, like as an umbrella or to make curly hair. But in the end, he finds all of his shoes, and they have one big party.
As Vincent explained, this is a very good story for children. We have wanted to adapt this story for first grade students who are 6 years old, but it is easily transferable to any other ages. We think it's suitable for this age because it is a simple and easy to understand story with simple vocabulary. In addition, this vocabulary is presented in simple structures and appears progressively, a fact that facilitates its understanding and assimilation. And in addition, this story has images that are visually pleasing and that help you expand the meaning of the text.
Speaking about objectives, you can see here in the screen that we have defined them within 3 dimensions in the English language, and then also within values education and within the artistic field. This way, with the set of activities that we have proposed, students will first comprehend and value a literary oral text, then they will use oral interaction strategies to communicate within each other, and finally, they will recognize, identify, and write simple words next to the visual support. And then, on the other hand, while doing these activities, students will also work the empathy of others, and then they will also create several artistic productions using different materials.
So regarding vocabulary, we find that the words that appears the most, so these are the words that we want to work with, are the names of the animals, such as hedgehog, snail, giraffe, frog, etc. About the structures, we find that the one that appears the most is this one that goes go ask plus animal, which is repeated over and over again when the centipede is seeking for help. And about pronunciation, we will take into account the main vocabulary, the names of the animals that I said before, because the children will have to repeat them. And the most difficult ones are snail, hedgehog, monkey, and centipede. And the cross-curricular topics include in the activities are, first of all, the art, since they will have to draw and paint through all the activities. And also we thought about values because of the empathy. They will work on empathy in the activity 5 that Altea will explain later.
Regarding the activities that we will carry out with the children, we would like to differentiate them between pre-reading activities, while reading activities, and post-reading activities. The ones done previous to the reading would be the following. We would examine the cover of the book to create expectation between the children. We would check the title of the book. We would check if they have ever seen the animals that appear in the cover. And also we would ask them if they know what the story is going to be about. Then we would have some flashcards, which we would hand out, and check the meaning of the names of the animals with the children, and ask them to repeat them out loud in order to check their pronunciation. Also, while reading the book, we would do one activity which would be imitating the animals in order to engage with them, to engage with the audience. This will be done by mimics, but for example with animals that have a sound which is more characteristic, like the lion of them or the monkey, for example the lion with its roar, we would also ask the children to imitate the sound of this animal.
Now I will explain you the post-reading activities. The first activity is called Guess the Animal, and we will need 10 flashcards. First, students will come one by one to the front of the class and take a paper with the name of the animal, and they will have to mimic it, and the other students will have to guess which animal is it. They will raise a flashcard with the name of the animal. The next activity is called animal drawing. And first, students will have to choose which animal do they want to draw, and think about how many shoes does this animal need. For example, a lion will need 4 shoes and a flamingo only 2. And next they will draw and color it. And finally they will write the name of the animal beneath the drawing. And the last post-reading activity is called Shoes for Shongololo. They will start with a brief reflection about the story's meaning. They will notice that at the beginning the animals didn't want to help Shongololo, so they will try to help him and give him some shoes. So they will draw a shoe with the help of some outlines as examples. And next they will go to the corridor or where a big wall is, and there will be already a big Shongolo hanged. So students will get their shoes drawing and their animal drawing, and one by one they will have to go to the front and say something like, for example, I am a lion and I give you this shoe, and they will have to stick it in Shongolo's foot.
Next, I will explain the reasons why we have chosen these activities. We believe that these activities are motivating because we believe that students will be motivated when carrying out the activities because they are not based on repetitive exercises. Creativity enhancers because with the activities such as when the students have to draw the shoe, the creativity of the students is not delimited. They are allowed to decorate it as they like. Step by step, because students get to acquire vocabulary through a sequence of activities. Easy but entertaining because they are first year students and they need to do simple but challenging activities. And final product because the activities lead to a final activity where students may have acquired everything planned.
Looking at the objectives I have exposed earlier, our group decided to assess them using a rubric. And in a more specific way, we translated like all the objectives into indicators of assessment, as you can see here in the PowerPoint. And we chose to create a rubric because we believe that at such young ages, the assessment doesn't have to be summative. This is with tests and marks and all these things, but instead it should be formative. So with this sequence of activities, we just wanted the teacher to have this rubric with some indicators to keep in mind for each student. And this way, as the main aim of formative assessment is helping students' comprehension, the teacher can observe children's progression and react if he or she sees that a lot of them are not following the activities.
So for our micro-teaching, what we thought that are our pros is that our micro-teaching is very visual and dynamic. The activities that we've created are short, are dynamic, and because we have really short different activities and we switch activities often, that gives that dynamic and it doesn't give the feeling of being stuck in one activity for so long. And for the cons, what we thought is that some of our activities really depend on the engagement and really depend on the feedback that the students give to the reading and give to us and give to the activities. And of course, if for some reason that day the students are not really engaging with the activity that we're proposing, it won't work as well as we thought. And the last con is that because some of the activities are prepared to be short, if some of them gets longer, then all the micro-teaching timings will get too long. And that's it.
Thank you so much for your attention. I really hope you liked our presentation and our proposal of activities.